Thank you for 7 years of listening, and as we enter our seventh year, I would like to take a moment to talk about our latest book. Sizzle Reel has just come out on Kindle Direct and is available on all Kindle devices, as well as the Kindle app for iOS and Android. And it is available effective the 6th, yesterday. So it is available now. If you want to go to bit.ly/MWP books, you can see the full list, including Sizzle Reel and all the ones before that. Everything that gets purchased through there or read through KNP or Kindle whatever the hell that thing is called, Kindle the Kindle Unlimited thing. Anything through there helps the show out a lot. Thank you, and thank you for listening. And to the next, hopefully more than 7 years. Thank you.
It was such a good episode, and then we started talking about like football, and then shit.
Thank you for your color commentary.
And 3. Okay, I guess we're recording now. Welcome to
It let
30-minute
me know.
reviews. And, you got your little notification there too.
Yep.
It says recording in progress. Welcome to 30-minute reviews. I am Adam, and as you can hear, we have a guest today. Josie's here.
Hello.
So today is the 7th anniversary of starting the show. We did the first episode 7 years ago, where I think we decided in that first episode that we were going to cover both Red Dawns out of the gate. That was our big decision we made. And then there was something I wanted to address, not with you specifically, just in general. We made a lot of bombastic claims over the course of the show over the years, a lot of which didn't exactly pan out because we reported on things that were like half rumors and stuff, and a lot of it was wrong. So like at one point we said that the person in do you remember The Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Do you remember Benicio del Toro in The Last Jedi specifically?
Sure.
Do you remember what his character's name was?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, that's not the point here. The point is that we said he was going to be Boba Fett's son because we reported on something that was flagrantly inaccurate. And we said, oh, it's going to be Boba Fett's son. That's cool. And that didn't happen. But every once in a while, we are right. And by a long shot. So I'm going to share. I found this. I was looking for. We definitely did this. We definitely called how Infinity War was going to end. I've been looking for that clip for a while. I can't find it. I found this clip, though. So I'm going to share my screen. Share. And I'm going to play this clip. Hopefully it plays through because I should be sharing audio too. So
I think they'd have to, if they're going to introduce Daredevil into a movie, it'd be Infinity War Part 2.
Okay.
I think it's going to be...
But they're like, hey, Daredevil, what's going on in Hell's
You
Kitchen?
think
He's
that
like,
they'll even put Daredevil in?
I think so, because it's going to be, it's going to be as huge as it should be, with this huge...
Is it going to be
If
like
they do,
Thanos
I
is
think
coming
it's
to New
huge
York?
if they introduce him as only a lawyer.
No,
That'd be really funny.
That's what they should have done in Civil War, is have him be a lawyer somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Like, in a small cameo.
now, did you hear that?
Mostly.
Okay. Now, audio issues aside from the fact that we were recording using Skype at the time, and I don't know if you recall, but anytime we had to do it, it was a good 40 minutes of setup to get it to work because it never actually worked right.
Yeah.
And you would think that it would have been easier after the first time, but no, because Skype is so difficult to integrate with recording software, it took a long ass time. Now it's just Zoom, you just record it and pull the audio out and you're done. We said it'd be great if they introduced Daredevil in the movies as just a lawyer in a small cameo, which we said it was going to be in Infinity War Part 2 because Endgame was not titled at that point because this was back in 2015 or very early 2016, even before Civil War came out. But I'm gonna take that as a we called that because that did eventually happen.
I think you need just an episode of all the things that you called.
Oh, or all the things that we called wrong would be better, because like there was another one when I had COVID the first time, and I was sick. I did a cut of a bunch of movies that came out that weekend, and it was the weekend Man of Steel came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I pulled the clip when we talked about Man of Steel years later, obviously, because we weren't doing the podcast in 2013. But I kept in the beginning part because it was the same year that season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow ended.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended with them saying, "Oh, there's gonna be a huge cameo. There's a huge cameo coming." And again, we were right, but at the wrong time, because we did a lengthy discussion on if Booster Gold was gonna show up in the finale. He didn't. It was Our Man, but it was season 1's finale was Our Man. Season 8's finale was Booster Gold. So again, we were wrong, but. Yeah, I think that if we go through and find all the shit we were wrong about because I didn't vet anything, I was just like, yeah, this seems cool.
I think you should just do it as a compilation.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun. That maybe for the 10th anniversary we can do that and comment on how wrong we were.
That sounds great.
So we got 3 years to get that together. So now, San Diego Comic-Con was 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to do this last weekend, but I was sick. And I couldn't sit and talk for any length of time, which sounds like a really first world problem. But I wanted to get your take on the Marvel announcements. Because there was a bunch of announcements from Marvel that they did last week or 2 weeks ago.
Sure, what are they?
Well, I know. That's what, I have it listed out. I work for the Smithtown Chronicle, so I did instead of my weekly streaming recap, I did a weekly recap of everything they announced at San Diego. And I have a 7-page thing I did about that for them.
I have to read the 7 pages right now.
No. I'm gonna go down to the end where the Marvel stuff is, and we're gonna talk about the Marvel stuff.
Okay.
Now, you watched the Wakanda Forever trailer.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts on the Wakanda Forever trailer before we?
The outfits look awesome.
For the Atlanteans,
Just like all around. I think that the costume design is on.
I think
on
it
point.
won. I think it won the Academy Award for that back in.
Did it?
In 2019 it would have been, but I think it won. It definitely won production design, but I think it won costume design too.
They're bound for it again with this one. So.
How do you feel about all the stuff they're trying to do in this movie? Because that's my.
I don't know. I'm really super duper confused. I have no idea who the blue people are. I have no idea who the underwater is and why there was a baby floating underwater. It was super confusing.
Someone gave birth at some point, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting, I guess, but I'm not entirely sure who that was.
There was a freshly birthed baby, but like no blood and guts around. Just saying.
Well, I mean, it's a PG-13 movie.
Unrealistic.
It's doing a water birth. It's like, what are they gonna do? Show the placenta floating next to her? Like,
Could
I think it takes away from the moment. I think if you do that. But that I think there's gonna be. Here's the thing. I think they should have split this into 2 movies. One just to be who the next Black Panther is gonna be, and one to be like and. Here's all the shit with the Atlanteans.
Wasn't the Black Panther the sister?
I think it's going to be. I've seen people also speculate that the sister, that it's going to be the girlfriend from the first one, Lupita Nyong'o's character.
Maybe. I'd rather it be the sister. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, and there's
really
comic.
Like her.
There's comic precedent for that. I think it's doing too much because did you see the person carving out the heart at one point in the trailer?
No.
In the metal?
No.
Oh, yeah. At one point in the trailer, someone like she welds out like a heart shape in a piece of metal. That's the introduction of Ironheart.
That's what that's supposed to be.
Yes.
That's not a metal heart.
Well,
how are we supposed to get that from that little clip where it's like a cup? Like it's so boxy.
Well, because the thing is, it's meant to be her arc reactor shape. Not her arc reactor, but the thing that goes over the arc reactor on her chest is heart shaped.
Sure, I definitely didn't get that. Like there was nothing
Yeah.
enough to like introduce it for somebody who maybe hasn't read those comics or doesn't know those characters.
Well, I think that it's more like we're going to introduce these characters here, and then we're going to move out, and then she's getting her own show next year on Disney Plus, or 2 years from now on Disney Plus.
Well, maybe it's a good thing that there's all this unknown and introduction of new things that people maybe don't necessarily know. It kind of brings that vibe when, like at the beginning of the Avengers and when they were doing the introductions for all of that, of all those characters to, our lives, actually. There was that sense of mystery and excitement that hasn't been there for a while because we all know what's happening and who the people are.
Well, I think I think part of the problem is that like they've been relying a lot on weird marketing techniques that have been giving away way more of the movie than ever before.
Mm-hmm.
Because like there's no reason why everyone walked into No Way Home knowing full well that Spider-Man, and then you're also going to have Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire were going to be in that movie. Like we knew Daredevil was going to be in the movie. We knew that like Electro was going to be there. We knew Sandman was going to be, like we knew all of this stuff going into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was no reason why that should have been the case.
There's that it's a mystery again.
Yeah.
That's been missing for a while.
Granted, this is also only a teaser. They're going to there's definitely going to be a full trailer next month at D23.
Well, hopefully they don't ruin it.
They don't give it all away. Where it's like, your brother's dead. Get ready to wear the suit now to be the next Black Panther.
Yeah, I'm far more interested in it knowing, like not knowing. Like I want to go because I want to know what's going on. Like I've never seen those people before. Where did they come from? Where if they give it all away in the trailer, that'll be really disappointing.
And I heard a rumor about it. I don't know how accurate it is, but we could be setting ourselves up for another clip for times we were wrong. But I heard a rumor that the post-credit scene is going to introduce a major player going forward that's not related to Black Panther.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell you who it is, or do you want me to leave it a potential mystery if it's real?
I don't know. Is this even a character that I'm going to know? I'm
fairly certain you'll know this character. Because it's like there was a rumor before Multiverse of Madness came out that there was going to be a post-credit scene with Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't there. This one was Dr. Doom is going to be in the post-credit tag, trying to get the vibranium for reasons unknown. That will be wrapping up Phase 4, which is what we've been in since WandaVision.
Okay.
So Phase 4 was WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Season 1, and Loki Season 1, 2. Mm-hmm. Hawkeye, Black Widow, Eternals, Shang-Chi, and then this year with Multiverse of Madness, Thor, Love and Thunder. Did you watch Thor, Love and Thunder yet? The one that came out last month?
No.
Okay. I feel like I'm definitely missing stuff. Maybe I'm not.
I want to see it though. Was it worth it?
It's gonna be on Disney Plus next month. Maybe just wait for it to go to Disney Plus. Don't rush out to a theater to see it. One of the things I've gotten very good at lately, not to toot my own horn, is being able to tell when they use stagecraft at ILM to shoot things. Okay. Which is, they have this. It's this. Did you ever watch the You've watched The Mandalorian at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But you know how they did that behind the scenes series with the directors roundtable with all the directors after season 1, and they talked about this thing they called it stagecraft. It's also called the volume. It's a giant sound stage where the wall behind them is a giant screen. And it's a beyond ultra HD screen, and they will put images on there and they'll walk in front of it. So it's like a green screen, but you can physically see what's on it behind you. And the other thing is, like let's say that the computer screen in front of me is it. If I hold my phone up like this or like this or like this, it'll tell there's a camera pointed, and it'll orient the image on the screen to match where the camera is.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it works
mean,
with any camera.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like that scene from or how they film the what do they call propos in Hunger Games.
Yes. Which is a new one next year. Are you excited for that?
Of course, I didn't know that there was one. Now I'm excited. Yes.
Yeah, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes in next November. So yeah, so they film part of Thor on that. You can definitely tell because like the wall behind them looks very like you can tell they shot it on a soundstage, not like somewhere with a full thing. Yeah.
Now, since that's not something that I like am familiar with, or even like this is my first time being even introduced to the concept of it, it'll be interesting to watch it and see if I can figure it out.
Well, did you watch Kenobi?
Yeah.
In the second episode when he's wandering around with Leia in that city, and that was shot on that thing. That whole scene in that city was shot on that thing. It makes the city look endless behind them.
I definitely didn't notice anything weird when I was watching.
It might be something that once it's pointed out to you, you might see it.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't then, so I don't ruin the magic.
So I feel like I'm definitely missing other Phase 4 things. But Phase 4 with a lot of reintroduction, laying the pieces on the table to be like, who's here, who's active, where are they, what are they doing, that kind of thing. It was a lot of Phase 4. Also this year is She-Hulk, which is coming out.
I saw the trailer for that one.
Do you like it?
I think it'll be maybe cute, hopefully. I don't know.
Which trailer did you see? The new one or the first one? The first one, the CGI is a little iffy.
I saw the 30-second one from that Hulu's playing.
Oh, okay. So you maybe saw some mix of footage from both. Yes. But they fixed the CG.
Okay, I was gonna say the CGI for her face looked real fucked.
I think that it's okay. If you're seeing more recent footage and you're like that, you might not like it because it's definitely better than it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I have something to show you from that too, so if you'll turn your attention to the screen.
Are they trying to imply that she's gonna be like, no, I'm only a lawyer. I'm not gonna use my super.
No. She very much is. She's She-Hulk for most of it.
That's what I got from it. So that's good to know. I'm more interested in it now.
It's and she breaks the third wall too. A lot in the show.
Cool.
So, let me show you something from She-Hulk that has me excited. If you'll turn your attention to the screen. There we go. Let me zoom in.
Oh my God, a nude.
Yeah. Let me zoom in down here. That is from the She-Hulk show.
Oh.
So, do you like Daredevil? Because get ready for a lot of Daredevil in the news today. So, and that was another thing I was looking through for because I seem to recall in the first few episodes we covered Daredevil for like the first 14 weeks or something like that.
That's because it was pretty decent then.
And I seem to recall there being a thing where there was a period where I'd ask, did you watch it? And you would just say no. So I was trying to get a super cut together. I had a super cut together of did you watch it this week? No. Did you watch it this week? No.
No, because it was bad.
The first season of Daredevil was not bad. The second season is not as good, but the third season's also great. Even though it has probably the most.
I think I don't like any of the Marvel shows from that time period.
You're not
I didn't like the
Defenders?
Daredevil. I didn't like Luke Cage. I didn't like the lady one from.
Jessica Jones.
Yes. No, I didn't like really any of them.
Jessica Jones was okay. Jessica Jones went off the rail pretty quick once that it should have been a self-contained first season and then not done season 2 and 3. Because I think once you got into seasons 2 and 3, it kind of went off the rails a little bit. Mm-hmm. Iron Fist was basically irredeemable. That one was really bad. And I liked the first season of Luke Cage. I never watched the second. Daredevil was my jam. And I never watched Punisher either.
I couldn't get into any of them. Oh yeah, I also didn't really like the Punisher. I just couldn't get into them. It's not that I didn't like them or that I thought they were bad. They just weren't my jam.
Yeah, Well, The Flash is ending, so you can go and watch all of that if you need something to watch. All 9
No, I'm
seasons
good.
of The
I
Flash.
also am not into that one.
I'll live, thank you.
Oh.
It's so funny to see the way that this is off topic, but it's so funny to see the way that that's being portrayed by news sites, where it's like it's canceled after 9 seasons. It's like, all right, how many TV shows run for 9 seasons to begin with and get to go out on their own terms after giving the actors a huge pay raise to come back for the 9th season? Like,
But if they got canceled, they really didn't go out on their own terms.
no, they didn't get. Well, I mean, they got canceled in as much as the network got sold to a news company, and the network's not going to exist anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, so CW is within the next 5 years is not going to exist. Not even
Okay.
as we know it now. It's going to be. It was sold to Nexstar, which is like News Nation. I don't know if you've heard of that channel.
No.
It's kind of like CNN or MSNBC or anything like that, but that's what CW is going to be from 8 to 10, because local affiliates own the channels during the day. Back on topic. So She-Hulk comes out in 2 weeks, or a little under 2 weeks, and that will be the last Disney. It's a Disney Plus show.
Oh, it's coming. It's a show.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm more interested in it now.
Yeah, they're half-hour. It's 8 half-hour episodes, so it's meant to be more like a workplace comedy style than a like Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was very heady. And then Black Panther ends it off. Phase 5 starts with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
I don't really like. Not that I don't like. I just don't. I cannot get into the Ant-Man movies. Period.
I think it's just his.
I like his character with everybody else and all the Avengers and the times that he pops up then. But
you don't like him in his own movies?
Not really.
Well,
I think he's too much of a supporting character.
Here are some things from Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania that may interest you. The villain, one of the 2 villains, will be MODOK. The giant floating head with the tiny ass arms.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah, apparently I've heard, again, this isn't confirmed. This is something I heard that may make another compilation later, but I've heard it's going to be Corey Stoll reprising from the first one. Do you remember the first Ant-Man?
Sure, yeah, mostly.
Well, at the very end, to beat Yellow Jacket, he shrinks down into the quantum realm, and he goes into his suit and starts breaking everything. And then he comes out and he sees him like shrinking in all fucked up ways, and he disappears. That's what it is. It's going to be him in that suit, all fucked up, and he becomes MODOK. According to this rumor I read, I don't know.
Ant-Man becomes MODOK?
No, Yellow Jacket, the bad guy from the first Ant-Man movie. And the other bad guy was previously introduced in a movie. Jonathan Majors is reprising his role from Loki as Kang the Conqueror. Also, they recast Cassie Lang for a 3rd time, the daughter, because the first time the daughter was that little girl.
Hold on, I'm Googling who these people are.
Oh, Kang the Conqueror?
No, Cassie Lang. I just the Yellow Jacket guy. Now I'm gonna see who Cassie Lang is.
You remember the little girl from the movie?
I like her. Okay.
They recast her.
Oh, okay.
Well, because remember there was a time jump in Infinity War Endgame.
Okay.
So in Endgame, when he goes back to his house, she's played by an older girl this time because it's been 5 years. She's no longer a little kid.
That's right. But
they recast her again because they wanted to put up someone with a name in the role. Catherine Newton is going to be playing Cassie Lang. Did you see Freaky?
Freaky?
Yeah, the movie Freaky.
Oh, I know Catherine Newton.
Yeah, she's also in the Pokemon movie.
Yeah, she's been in a few different things. She does a lot of like TV shows and TV drama things on like Netflix and stuff.
Right? Oh, really? I guess.
I believe so. Is this not the same?
I'm
blonde
not 100.
Girl?
Yeah, she's blonde.
I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I mean, I just know her from those 2 movies. One second, let me just fix this real quick. Suggested address. All right, and apparently the case is update. Okay, so that's fixing it. Anyway, cool. Meeting hours, unlimited minutes. All right. So she's playing what's it called? She will be playing Cassie Lang from here on out. Because she will be suiting up as Stature in the movie, which is a Young Avengers character who's Ant-Man, but younger. The next thing after that is the Disney Plus show Secret Invasion, which is Nick Fury focused, but it's teased as a crossover event. Rhodes is in it, War Machine, and there are a few other people in it. It's about the Skrulls. Remember from Captain Marvel, the Skrulls?
No.
Did you watch Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
The Green Alien guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
They came to Earth and are taking over the world by pretending to be people and taking over their lives.
Oh, okay.
So that's the plot there, is Nick Fury trying to stop that.
This is going to be a heavier one.
Yeah, it's a dense, I'm sorry, not dense, tense spy thriller, which, kind of like Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is the next movie after that on May 5th, 2023, which is going to talk about Rocket's backstory. The bad guy is going to be the High Evolutionary. And apparently the Gamora that escaped during Endgame, which, can we address that for a second? So what was Tony's snap in Endgame?
It was to go back to the second before the snap. To make it like the snap never happened. She died before the snap.
No. When Tony snaps, not Hulk, when Tony snaps and he wipes out all of Thanos' people, he wipes out Thanos' entire army.
Oh.
Why was Gamora not included in that?
In the army?
Because he didn't know Gamora flipped. So, did the Gauntlet know not to kill Gamora?
Gamora was already dead?
No, because she was on the ship. Because the Thanos that comes at the end of Endgame is the one from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Because because remember, they come from the scene on Morag in the beginning where he's going through the temple and saying, "Come and get your love." By Redbone.
I mean, it's an all-powerful object, so of course
it feels like an oversight.
That makes sense. That entirely makes sense. It's an all-powerful object that is, and it was a statement of okay, bye-bye. And she was no longer considered part of his army. Even though he considered it, she wasn't.
Okay, so
that just proved her alignment.
So it's kind of like, what's it called? It's kind of like if you're dying and you pray for forgiveness on your deathbed, it's all right, whatever, you're good. So if one of the Chitauri was about to he sees his friend over there getting turned to dust, he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna switch sides, and then his hand starts to go, and he's like, oh okay, we're good now.
But it shows a true alignment change.
All right. Still, she's alive somehow, and she has taken control of a faction of the Ravagers. And Adam Warlock will be introduced in that movie as well. There are 2 shows in Disney Plus in the summer of 2023. Loki season 2, with everyone coming back from the first one. And a Hawkeye spinoff about Echo, the girl from that who was deaf, who had the 2 prosthetic legs. And in that one, strap yourself in, because that will be a reprisal of Charlie Cox as Daredevil and Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. So it's going to be another Daredevil thing. So get ready for that. July 28th, 2023 is The Marvels, which is a sequel to Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and WandaVision. Because it's a team up of Monica, Kamala, and what's it called? And Carol. I don't know if it's just me, but I keep mixing up Kamala and Kamala because the vice president's name is Kamala and they're spelled exactly the same.
What are you saying?
What?
Wait, say the difference between those again.
Who?
You have a hard time with Camilla and
No,
Kamala?
not Camilla. No, the vice president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Her first name is spelt the same way as Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. They're both spelled.
Are you saying
K-A-M.
Kamala and Camilla?
No, it's Kamala is how you pronounce the vice president's name.
Kamala?
Yeah, and then Kamala is Kamala Khan. They're two different pronunciations of the exact same spelling, and I keep getting corrected.
Soft A and hard I, right? What's the difference?
There's no I in either of them.
Fuck me.
No, it's Kamala. It's just in one, the M is emphasized. Yeah.
Kamala. Like if you're from Boston. Kamala. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Right? I'm running. I got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Then is Ironheart, the next show, which is the debut, the solo show of Ironheart from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. And the bad guy is going to be, did you watch In the Heights by any chance? Or Hamilton on Disney Plus?
Yes, Hamilton.
Okay, you know the guy who plays Hamilton's son who gets shot in the duel?
Yeah, sure. Let me just remember that real quick. Hold on. Give me a second.
He's going to be in Ironheart in in a major but unstated role.
Yeah.
Anthony Ramos, yeah. Then the next movie after that is Blade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who that guy is.
Yeah.
Anthony Ramos. Okay.
Yeah. Blade is the next movie after that.
Okay.
With Mahershala Ali as Blade. That is November 3rd, 2023.
I'm
Winter
looking forward to that one.
That could be cool. It's directed by the guy who directed Mogul Mowgli on HBO Max, if you want to see some of his past work. The director,
Mowgli.
I mean.
Okay.
Then the next thing after that, that'll end out 2023, is Agatha Coven of Chaos, which is a spin-off of WandaVision about Agatha Harkness with Catherine Hahn reprising.
Okay.
So that's going to be cool. Then in 2024, there's a date still held for February of 2024, but no movie has been put on that date yet. Me personally, I think that's Deadpool 3.
Oh, okay.
Because they have a director, Sean Levy's directing it, and they have Ryan Reynolds has started to get back into shape for it. So I think that's enough time to get that movie out and done. Spring of 2024 is Daredevil Born Again, which is an 18-episode series that picks up the Daredevil show from Netflix with full cast reprising. So I know you're excited about that.
Yep, super. Yay.
May 3rd, 2024 is the release of Captain America New World Order, which will be the first movie with Sam Wilson as Captain America. That is directed by Julius Ona, who directed Loose and the Cloverfield Paradox. Loose is really good though if you haven't seen it. It's on Hulu, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very small movie, but it's really good. And then it ends off Phase 5 on July 6th, 2024 with Thunderbolts. Do you know what the Thunderbolts are?
No. Oh, is it like Power Rangers?
No, the Thunderbolts are like, what the fuck is wrong with this chair? The Thunderbolts are like,
okay.
like This chair, it's just moving on its own without me doing anything. I don't know if you noticed that, like, my head is like a good inch lower than it was when we started this.
Oh, that's what you mean. I was like, I see you moving a lot. Like, what do you
No,
mean
like,
it's moving on its own?
I've been very slowly just going, like, moving down. And I'm like, what
It's
the fuck is
haunted.
going on with
It's
this?
haunted. That's what it
The
is.
Thunderbolts is Marvel's Suicide Squad. So it's a team up movie of all of their anti-heroes and villains who are still around. So almost certainly.
Isn't that literally just what Daredevil is? Daredevil
No.
2 was?
No.
Who else would be an anti-hero?
Well, so far, here's the thing. The guy
Except for like
Thunderbolt
Ant-Man,
Ross,
because they pretend like that baby-faced man is
I
actually a
don't-
bad guy or something.
I don't know what
Who
the hell you're
steals
talking
shit.
about. No, when they say anti-hero, they mean like morally gray heroes. Like Punisher would be an anti-hero. But so far, what they're doing is
Don't they consider Ant-Man a morally gray because he
No.
used to break into shit?
Yeah, because he used to steal stuff. He doesn't steal stuff anymore, unless it's.
I mean,
I don't know, but no, Ant-Man would not be on that team. When they say anti-heroes, what they're referring to is characters like, or villains mostly. So I think it's basically confirmed at this point that Abomination will be on it. He is the guy from Incredible Hulk, who had a small role in Shang-Chi and is a major character in She-Hulk.
I just want another Shang-Chi. I want another Shang-Chi. That's what
There is some of that coming up too. Get ready for that.
Okay.
So, and then like Justin Hammer. Do you remember Iron Man 2, Sam Rockwell's character?
Mm-hmm.
He could be there. The U.S. agent from Falcon and the Winter Soldier could be there. And the team leader would likely be Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, who's been recurring. And the other two that I've seen thrown around, but I don't know if it's confirmed, are Kate Bishop and Yelena Belova as Hawkeye and Black Widow would be on the team too.
Okay.
Did you watch Hawkeye?
I did.
I think the most entertaining part of that show, besides Kingpin in the last episode, because you remember how he's got that weird like inflection to his voice, D'Onofrio. It's great, and I love that he makes that choice. But like the weird cadence he talks with, he can't do while he's doing sign language.
Mm-hmm.
So like the whole time he's talking, he's also the whole time he's doing sign language and stuff, he's also muttering under his breath so he can get the cadence out for the audience.
Okay.
It's so funny. But like the other really good thing about that was the relationship between Yelena and Kate over like 2 episodes that they were in together. That'd be cool to have more of that. And that'll end off phase 5. Very little was given about phase 6 besides the beginning and the ending of phase 6.
Okay.
So the phase 6 begins with November 8th, 2024, Fantastic Four.
Who?
They haven't announced yet. I'm thinking maybe Krasinski coming back from Multiverse of Madness.
That's the one. Yeah, the one where the Professor X was in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jim from The Office.
Yes, he'd make a good one.
Yeah, he was in that one scene. I could see them bringing him back. I think the only reason they don't is they might want someone who is A, younger that they can have in the role for a decade, and B, someone who's not as established and tied up in other projects at Paramount.
Oh.
And they can pay them a lot less than they have to pay John Krasinski.
Do you think they'll pick Adam Driver?
Probably not. I saw interesting casting for that. Did you watch?
They just want a tall guy with like brown hair. That's all they want.
Well, did you watch You on Netflix? That creepy ass show with the guy who stalks. Yeah, that guy was someone I saw put as Mr. Fantastic, Penn Badgley, and I'm like that could work. That same casting rumor, and again, we're making something else for our little compilation. Melissa Benoist,
Mm-hmm.
who played Supergirl on the CW as Sue Storm, and the actor for Doctor Doom. Did you ever watch The Mentalist? It was a network like police procedural
Yes.
for like 10 years. Yeah,
Yes.
that guy in the lead is Doctor Doom. Simon, whatever his name is.
I think I don't know, what does he look like now though?
He's still pretty handsome.
What's his
Full
name? Patrick
homo. He's
Jane?
I don't think it's Patrick Jane. I think that it's Simon something. Simon something. Simon Baker.
There he is. Yep. Simon Baker.
He doesn't look that bad.
He looks exactly the same and has not aged a day.
Yeah, but like
that accurate?
Yeah.
Oh no. Here we go. Here's some normal pictures of him. Here we go. He's got sad eyes. I don't know if he could. I can't picture him as a villain. But
My favorite take on Doctor Doom under the mask is not that he's horribly disfigured, because they've done both where it's like he wears the mask because he's horribly disfigured, but they also do a take where he's got like one little scar like on his chin here, and he deems it an imperfection, so he wears the mask because he's that narcissistic that he's like, I'm imperfect, I can't be seen without this mask. And I think that would work. Like? That's the one I think would work better with that. If that's accurate, we don't know if it is. Then there are two other movies.
He's too nice looking though. So I think that it would make more sense if it was like, oh, he's totally horribly disfigured because he's a nice guy. Very suddenly, oh, he got his face fucked up and now he's a mean dude.
I could do that too. But the thing is, like, if I told you 3 years ago that in a major Marvel movie, Julia Louis-Dreyfus would be playing Madame Hydra, would you have believed me?
I don't know who that is.
She played Elaine on Seinfeld.
Hold on.
Okay. Are you looking up Madame Hydra or Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
I was gonna look up Elaine on Seinfeld. Oh.
Yeah.
What the fuck is it? What'd you say her name is?
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah, she plays Val in Falcon and the Winter Soldier and in Black Widow's post-credit scene. She's the one who sends Yelena to kill Hawkeye. But that would be like it. Like, would you have believed that she could play a villain? Like, that's the thing. It's like
she's had some work, or am I looking at the wrong person?
Do you want me to just bring it up on mine and screen share?
Yeah, but don't show me an old picture. Show me a new one.
Yeah, I'll show you her. Dreyfus, Marvel. I'll show you her in the movie. Okay, let me screen share. Screen share. Share. There we go. Right here.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking at the wrong person. Okay.
Yeah, but like she was on Seinfeld
who?
for 9 years. She's Madame Hydra.
Oh.
Like
she's gonna have an accent?
No, she's leader of the Thunderbolts.
No.
She didn't have
the Hydra aren't the Hydra people the Nazi people? Yeah,
but they kind of abandoned the fact that they're all German besides Age of Ultron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they but she's doing that. Like I think anyone
Be
could
a
play
bad
a villain.
person.
Yeah. The last two movies of Phase 6 were also announced. The first one is May 2nd, 2025, and that will be directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, who directed Shang-Chi. It is called Avengers: The Kang Dynasty.
That's cool. Is it gonna be?
Kang the Conqueror is the bad guy.
Okay.
Then part 2 of that movie comes out November 7th, 2025. So they're doing both parts in the same year.
Oh,
Avengers: Secret Wars on November 7th, 2025.
okay.
And there are also other movies dated in that time period, and there are also Disney Plus series with general release window, but they didn't announce those. And they also announced dates for the first 4 Phase 7 movies, but nothing to talk about there. We can't speculate on that. There's a lot going on there. Now, so that's all for Marvel. How do you feel about all the Marvel stuff that they've announced?
I don't know. It's not as exciting as it used to be. There's so much of it coming out. I mean, I'm excited for the Black. I think that'll be really cool. But at this point, it's like, oh, another one? Oh, another one? Okay.
See, I think that's it. They're not introducing enough new characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even Phase 4 or Phase 3 had, like, it was split up where it was existing, new.
I think it was far more interesting to me to go and watch the new Doctor Strange movie because they comic-sized it. Like, they made it seem so much more like the comic books were like just crazy off things were actually happening, and they put these, like, I don't know, it was just neat. I mean, come on, he was a zombie.
Yeah, that was really cool. I really liked. A lot of people didn't like that movie. I really liked it.
I did too. It reminded me of like actually reading the comic books and stuff, because that's what happens, is the crazy stuff. Like, those are the memorable ones, at least. So
Right.
I think that they need to start going down that road a little bit more.
Well, I think they're going to. I think that, and that's the thing too. That date in February of 2025 that doesn't have a movie yet, before, what's it called? Before we get to Kang Dynasty, is going. I think that has to be Doctor Strange 3.
Oh, okay.
Because the post-credit scene of Doctor Strange 2 is Clea coming to him and being like, "You started an incursion."
I'm not a super fan of Doctor Strange, but I do think that, like, I'm far more interested in those movies currently, just because, or more of his stuff coming out because of how fantastical it is.
And it's like he became a fan favorite very quickly, I think, after his fight with Thanos in Infinity War.
His character, him as a character, is less interesting than the cinematic stuff that's going on, or I guess
the visuals that go with it are more interesting than watching.
Him.
Are you happy, Doctor Strange? Like, that started to piss me off in that movie, where like everyone's asking him, "Are you like?" I don't give a shit if he's happy. Like,
just go.
I really don't.
Go be a dead guy. Come on.
Yeah. Go kill something. I don't care what it is. Just like, find something and kill it. Like,
can they just do the Marvel zombie movie? The whole.
They're doing
movie?
A TV show. They're doing a TV show.
They are, and it's just
on Disney Plus. Yes, TVMA. I have that written down here too somewhere. I skipped all the animation stuff.
I skipped all the animation. I want it live action. I want a live action. I want a live action movie. And I want like I want to see what happens when the X-Men go against like vampires or something. I don't know, just something crazy.
The Marvel Zombie show is 2024. It is a spin-off of What If, where they did the Marvel Zombies episode. It's an entire show, though. It's a team of survivors in the zombie apocalypse that include Death Dealer, Red Guardian, Black Widow, but Yelena's version, Hawkeye, Kate's version, Miss Marvel, and Shang-Chi. At some point in the show, Icarus becomes a zombie. Although, can we address that? How the fuck does that work? Like, you watched Eternals, right?
Eternals, yeah.
They're not animal. They're not organic matter. The Eternals.
Oh. Yeah, no. They're like robot.
Yeah, how the fuck does he become a zombie?
They'll explain it in the movie. It's gonna be here's the calling it. It's a virus from the multiverse.
Okay, all right, whatever. Sure. Fine. Also in 2024, I have X-Men news too. This is not X-Men, this is Spider-Man news first, though. It's a prequel to Captain America Civil War about Spider-Man getting his powers and being trained to be a hero. It's going to have him teaming up with Daredevil, with Charlie Cox reprising as Daredevil again. And we're gonna meet the MCU version of Norman Osborn, Harry Osborn, Amadeus Cho, Lonnie Lincoln, and Niku Minoru, who was on The Runaways, and also an MCU variant of Doc Ock, Scorpion, Chameleon, and Rhino. We'll all be on that show. That's in 2024 as well. Late 2023 is X-Men's return.
Yay.
Did you watch the show, the classic animated show, X-Men 97? Or, well, it was called X-Men back in the day, but now it's X-Men 97.
Nope.
Yeah, it's that show, picking up exactly where it left off, with Professor X leaving Earth to go face the Shi'ar Empire.
Can they just hurry up and go and do another Wolverine? I know that he's not going to do it, but there's some good candidates out there right now.
I think he's going to show up in Secret Wars.
You think
that would be? I think Hugh Jackman shows up in Secret Wars. I think that'd be like, I was totally against Professor X in Multiverse of Madness.
I thought that was cool.
For me, at least, I think the perfect send-off for Patrick Stewart was Logan.
Oh, okay.
Like that scene right before he dies, where X-24 is standing over him, and he thinks it's his his version of Logan. Mm-hmm. And he has that moment of lucidity where he's like, I don't deserve to have this level of happiness right now because of all of the shit I did in my life. And then he gets stabbed to the chest.
Oh.
Like, I think that was a perfect send off for him. Because like Professor X is not a good guy. Let's not, pretend he is. Like, he fights a proxy war with children.
Well. Okay.
That's the entire plot of the X-Men.
X.
Like it's like, did you watch Crimes of Grindelwald? Or no, not Crimes of Grindelwald. Secrets of Dumbledore yet? The new Fantastic Beasts movie. Okay, don't. But here's the problem with I saw it in theaters, opening night, in an empty theater, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and I was texting Peter because it's fucking ridiculous, this movie, and it ends with, I'm gonna spoil it for you, but don't worry, you're not missing too much. It ends with there's this deer thing that was never mentioned before in any of Harry Potter that can look at someone and tell if they're pure of heart.
Oh yeah, I saw that they introduced it in.
And then it's like they go to the Wizard UN with this deer thing, because apparently that's a thing that they never addressed either. But there's a Wizard UN. They go there with that, and there's an election held. Somehow Grindelwald gets on the ticket to run for president of the Wizard UN, and he kills the deer thing and puts and uses magic on it to make it look like he's the one who's pure of heart. And then it's like, well, what's the point of voting if this deer thing just decides anyway? But whatever. And then there's a second deer thing that's also there. And that one sees Dumbledore and declares him that. And I'm sitting there in the theater, and I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah.
Because number one, everything that happens in this movie is because this guy thinks with his dick and doesn't want to give up on his boyfriend. And the other thing is, like 90 years down the road, and the fucking deer, they say this multiple times, the deer can see the past, present, and future. Like 90 years down the road, you got a 16-year-old that he's raising up to face Voldemort.
Killed.
Yeah. And it's like the only reason he doesn't die is pure happenstance. Right. It's like that sequence in the train station at the end is like, oh shit, you survived.
There's never ever been like an implication that he is considered pure of heart. The whole reason that Snape dies the way Snape dies is to show that he's not this big almighty good guy that we all thought he was.
Right.
Like.
And even Snape's not a good guy either. Like, let's be honest there. It's just a guy who wanted to fuck someone, and then it's like, oh, well, I couldn't fuck her, so I'm going to stop being a Nazi and hope she doesn't get killed. Like, I'm okay if her husband gets killed, but I don't want her to get killed. And that doesn't work. So then he's like, I'm just going to verbally and physically abuse her son for the better part of 7 years. Mm-hmm. And the whole thing's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, X-Men 97 is coming in late 2023 if you want to see the escapades of Professor X in space. So what do you know about the Warner Brothers Discovery merger?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, so Warner Brothers, one of the big studios, was owned by AT&T. AT&T acquired Discovery, which was its own company. In an effort to not be voided out by antitrust, Discovery and Warner Brothers got spun out into its own company and is now no longer under AT&T, but it's now Warner Brothers Discovery. But Discovery has taken over day-to-day operations of the company. And Discovery is looking at what's going on there and is like, what the fuck? So there's a lot of stuff getting moved around, canceled, whatever. One of the first things that was affected by this when the merger took place was there was a Wonder Twins movie they were making for HBO Max for $75 million. And if you're asking yourself, who the fuck wants to see a Wonder Twins movie that bad that they're going to spend $75 million on a Wonder Twins movie? You're not alone. They canceled the movie. But they have, at this point, finished shooting, finished post-production on, and are ready to release Batgirl with Leslie Grace from In the Heights as Batgirl, J.K. Simmons reprising as Commissioner Gordon, so that's all done. It's done, ready to be released. They announced this week the movie was being canceled and they're never releasing it.
Super.
Because they are trying to cut $300 million in taxes.
Okay.
So in an effort to do that, there's a $95 million movie they have canned. And there have been mixed reports about test screenings regarding it. I have yet to see a source that did not express displeasure at casting Leslie Grace in the lead to say the movie had issues in test screenings. But here's part of the problem. The talent involved found out that the movie was not being released when Variety put out the article.
Oh.
So the directors and the lead actress and Michael Keaton and all these other people who were involved all found out via Variety that the movie that they did that is never being released. Now, if you're Leslie Grace, I think you have a right to be pissed because you're like in your mid-20s and you spent a good amount of time training for this role, doing this role, and being ready for reshoots on this role and giving up other roles to do it. And the same goes for the directors who directed Bad Boys for Life and then also directed Miss Marvel.
That's pretty shit.
Yeah. And they're trying to cut out that money from the budget. And the only thing I can find consistently for a reason why they weren't thrilled about it is because the movie was $95 million and not really a spectacle. And they couldn't put it out in theaters to be a spectacle. And they didn't want to put it on HBO Max because they didn't want to put a $95 million movie only on streaming.
Okay.
Then we get to Ezra Miller, who plays the Flash in the movies. Ezra Miller, who was cast in first Batman v Superman. Because
didn't he get in trouble?
Oh yeah, he's been consistently getting in trouble. It's not even like a one and done thing. The first thing was he assaulted a fan at an event in 2020 in Iceland. Then last year he had earlier this year, and I think it's all unraveled really this year, he had 2 separate restraining orders placed against him by people in Hawaii that he assaulted in nightclubs, which, all right, maybe he's just got a substance abuse problem. That's fine. Which, no, I'm not making light of it or trying to make it like a joke, but like if that's the case, and they're just going to clubs and getting incredibly drunk and then getting into fights, that's something a studio can work around because it's not the first time they've had an alcoholic or someone on drugs in movies. Like, it's definitely something they can work around. Then came the grooming allegations that 2 separate families of underage girls came forward and said that he was starting up inappropriate relationships with their very young 12, 13-year-old daughters. Then came the report that they haven't been able to serve those the restraining orders to him because he's living on a compound in Vermont with drugs, weapons, and bullets laying around, as well as a family with underage children there, including a 1-year-old baby who was reported to have been chewing on a bullet of live ammunition that was laying on the ground. Then came the report. It just keeps getting worse. Then came the report that in Iceland, when he was there, he was running a cult.
Yeah, I was gonna say that first one sounds a little culty.
Now it's a full cult. And then also in Iceland, he was part of a band. And one of the rules of the band was that if you are over the age of 21, you have to bring a minor with you to the show, otherwise you will not be allowed in.
Yeah.
Now, all of that said, the Flash movie is still on track for release in July.
Mm-hmm.
There's no talk of moving it to HBO Max. There's no talk of canceling it. The movie cost $200 million to make. If you're looking for a $300 million movie to cut out of your budget and declare as a total loss, well, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do like that. That'll solve that problem. And if you really want to pull it up, pay Grant over at the CW a couple $1 million to bump it up a little bit higher. Reshoot all of Ezra's stuff, replace him with the guy on the CW, and then can the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's dumb. Like I don't understand
when they're done with this guy, because they will be. I mean, who do you want? Who
as
would
the
be
Flash.
the next Flash? Yeah.
I mean, I've been for them integrating in characters from the CW, because at this point, it's not just me. I'm not the only person who watches the shows on the CW. The ratings will suggest that there are at least 20 other people who watch the shows on the CW. I think we have a higher listenership on this show than the CW does on any given week of their shows. Notwithstanding, I think that bringing in Grant would have been a good idea at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, he's been doing it for 9 years. I totally understand if he's done with it now. And I can look at that and the thing is too, it's like if they're gonna cast someone, I don't want to know who they are beforehand. Like, I don't want to have seen them in another movie unless it's like a small role in some indie bullshit. Like, I don't want to know them until I see this movie. Like,
Okay.
Look at what Marvel did with, when they were casting.
Like an unknown person.
Right. Like, Tom Holland was not a known entity when he got cast as Spider-Man. Chris Hemsworth was not a known entity when he got cast. Robert Downey Jr., he was known, but he was on the outs with Hollywood because of his substance abuse problems and his jail time and all the other things, to the point where famously Favreau couldn't get insurance to cover him for Iron Man. So they had to take that massive risk on their own to do that. And who the fuck is Jeremy Renner even now? Like, it's that kind of thing where it's like, bring in people I don't know. I don't want to know who they are in advance. But if you are going to do something where you just want someone for crossover events, I would say use Grant.
Okay.
Be like, hey, do you want $2 million to show up for a Justice League movie and play the Flash? Yeah, sure, all right. Like that would be, I think, the easiest way to do it. And just retire it for a little bit, because you can't. This is ridiculous. I don't know how you can release this movie and market it to families with this guy in the lead.
Yeah. Kids, trust this guy.
Yeah.
He's a superhero. Just go along with him.
And then also it's like the amount that I think part of it is how much is riding on the Flash going forward. Because of the fact that the Flash is going to use Flashpoint the way Flashpoint in the comics was, to rewrite the DC universe the way they wanted to. Where it's like Ben Affleck is no longer Batman after Flashpoint. Michael Keaton is coming back, and he's going to be the Batman going forward. So much so that right now they're reshooting Aquaman, because Aquaman was supposed to come out after the Flash, but now it's coming out before, and test audiences don't understand why Michael Keaton's there.
Okay.
So they're changing that and doing it that way. It's a weird kind of situation. I think like they don't really want to have to. They don't want to address it because they don't want to be like. And at this point, they've doubled and tripled and quadrupled down so many times that they just look stupid, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah.
Because they should have. They probably should have ditched Ezra Miller when the first restraining orders were given, not in Hawaii, but the first ones with 12-year-old girls being pried with alcohol and drugs against their parents' wishes.
Yep.
So that's a real downer right there. We're not gonna. I got one other thing before we wrap up there. That you might be interested in. Have you seen any of the trailers for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet?
Negative.
They are the new Pokemon games coming out this year. November 18th, I think, is the release date. They will be the first games of Generation 9. Now, did you play Legends Arceus by any chance? Arceus, however the fuck you pronounce it. It came out in January.
No.
It is kind of open world, but not really.
That's what I heard. And
Yeah,
that's what I saw when I was looking into it. Because I was thinking about it.
It'll probably be on sale on Black Friday. So if you do really want to get it, you can get that. But if you're waiting for a price cut, it's never going to happen.
Okay.
Because Pokemon games only ever appreciate in value. I was at GameStop recently and I saw they had a copy of Diamond, like original Diamond for the DS for $75.
Oh.
Not in a box, just a standalone cartridge for $75. So in Legends Arceus, you have this little like hub town that you live in. And then you can go to this gate and it's like, where do you want to go? And there are like 5 big areas and they're big. Don't get me wrong, they're pretty big and you can go there, but you do that. This new game is, according to them at this point, true open world. You start at the first town. You can walk anywhere you want on the map. You can do the gyms in any order you want. There's 4-player co-op. The legend is your traversal thing. So there's no bike. The legend serves as your bike. There's no surfing. The legend serves as your boat. There's no flying. The legend serves as your flight. There's probably a fast travel, but the legend will serve as, like in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. It'll serve as your, what's it called? The fuck, I don't even play golf. The legend will serve as your like flying around the map thing. There are new Pokemon as always.
The legend, like, what do you mean the legend?
The cover legends, the 2 box legends.
The legendary Pokemon?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not. Okay.
Yeah. Because they look kind of like bikes when you look at their pictures. And it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You're gonna ride them like a bike. All right, moving on.
What's the name of it? So I can look it up.
Scarlet and Violet. Hang on, let
Pokemon.
me just send you to the Cerebi site.
Scarlet. Violet.
Net.
They look like bikes.
Yeah, you don't see that?
I don't see that.
Hang on.
Oh, they don't look like bikes.
Yes, they're designed to. Okay,
I
when they're
think that
standing, they don't look like bikes.
I think you've not seen a bike.
No, I have seen. I know what a bike looks like, but what I'm saying is, like, hang on. Let me see if I can find a thing about how they're.
Why don't you
mechanics.
send me one that it's supposed to look like a bike?
Right.
Because none of these look like a bike.
Let me see if there's a, like, I'm on here. New Pokemon. Here. Okay, so I'm gonna send you a link.
They both look like they have one giant chest boob.
Yes, that's the wheel.
That's the wheel?
Yeah, let me send you a link. Hang on, I'm gonna use the chat here. I'm gonna send you a link. as listeners can tell, we're using Zoom, so it's a little bit of a learning curve on doing things. There, I sent you a link. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you can see.
I was gonna say that first one's really cute. That doesn't look like a bike at all.
No, that's the grass
The,
starter. These are the new Pokemon.
Sprigatito.
Yeah, that's the grass starter. Down at the bottom,
Yeah.
you can see they have the what's it called? They
You
have
can
the
start with an ice type Pokemon this time.
no, only the first 3 of the starters.
Oh,
The little cat, the little like dragon thing, and the little duck. Everything else underneath are just Pokemon that are in the region.
so when you're not on your bike or your Pokemon,
Yeah.
does it walk around next to you looking normal, or does it look like the bike?
Now here's the thing. They didn't show that for those 2. There is following in the same way that like Sword and Shield had following if you went to the islands in the post game, but they didn't show any of how that these 2 look when they're walking around. I'm assuming that when you're not riding them, they look like, normal.
Do they at least like move their feet?
The wheels move.
Only the wheels move. So
like when you're on like the you don't see the feet on the like the thing is it's designed where it's
yeah,
like,
you do. You see the feet right now. I can look at them. They're right there.
well,
They're
I think
holding,
that like
no, they don't move. They
no, but
hold
they're holding the
on.
wheels.
They hold on to their chests, and their
Yeah.
chests spin
it's
inside.
holding its tits so that way it doesn't like have any accidents. It's fine. Don't think about it too hard. Then
This
there is
dumb. I'm disappointed.
how do you feel about Fido? Scroll up like 2
Bye.
to the little Fido, the little
That's
dog thing.
adorable.
Yeah. And then the other one people
Everybody's
really
just
like,
gonna name it Puggle.
yeah, and then the one right above it, Smoliv. A lot of people really like too.
That's pretty cute.
And
I
then
like the little piggy.
the pig,
Yeah, the piggy's cute.
Lechonk.
Yeah, that's adorable. I'm gonna start calling my dog that. Like already call him Chonky. Now he's gonna be LeChonk.
Some other interesting things. Whooper?
Whooper?
Yeah, the little blue guy that was in Gold and Silver.
Whooper.
Yeah, it evolves into Quagsire. Yeah, it's getting a regional form. That is brown. It's poison ground type.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and it's got bones out of its head.
Yeah. Looks a little bit more like an axolotl. Then there's a new type of evolution gimmick. Now I don't know how deeply you went with this, but in X and Y there was Mega Evolution. In Sun and Moon there was Z moves, which were incredibly powerful moves that you could use once per battle. In Sword and Shield there was Gigantamax, which was if you Dynamax, whatever. Sure.
Right?
I thought there was a T in there somewhere, but
no, I think you're right.
Maybe you're right. I think it's Giganta, like Giganta Max.
Giganta, like gigantic.
Yeah, because there's Dynamax, which is regular and it gets really big, and then there's Giganta. Or maybe I'm wrong. It's possible I'm wrong, but there was that. This new one has something called Terrastal, which is every Pokemon can do it in the game. And there's this Terrastal, it's called Terrastalization, which sounds like what it does if it's trying to keep it from having kids.
And Terrastal is spelled exactly how it sounds. I thought I would be wrong.
But it turns them into crystals, and they get a little power boost, and they change types.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It looks super sparkly, and I love sparkles, so yay.
There are raid battles, like in Sword and Shield, where you can do raids to get the Dynamax and the Gigantamax, which maybe you're right, but I've been pronouncing it this
I
way
think
for so
you're
long.
right. I
Oh,
don't
I am?
know. I don't know.
I don't know either. I've been pronouncing it this way for so long, and no one's corrected me, so I'm just gonna say it's probably right.
Let's find out.
Well, hang on. I'm on the site for it already. I'm gonna bring it up right here.
Pronunciation.
Giganta Max.
Gigantamax. Gigantamax.
No,
Gigantamax.
No, it's not Gia because that'd be Giaganta. Gig Anta Max is how I would pronounce that.
That's a J.
No, it's it's not GIF or GIF.
Yes, it is. When it is spelled out, on how to pronounce it, that is a hard J. That's how pronunciations work.
There's no way it's Gigantamax.
That's why they're spelled that. That's why they write them out this way.
All right. Well,
it's GAI. So Gigantamax.
All right. Well, I'm going. All right. Well, whatever. But in this new thing, in these raid battles, you get the chance of catching a Terrastall Pokemon that has a different type. So like Eevee, the one they use in the example is Pikachu, will be I guess all your message to explain the spelling. The issue is if you look at like Pikachu is a flying type when he's that instead of electric. Eevee is either grass or water, depending on the version. So there are some that are, different depending on that. So it could be cool. I think it could be cool. I'm going to be cautiously optimistic because every time they've done this in the past, the game has been underwhelming and they sell differently from what it actually is.
And they're saying that every single type of Pokemon has this ability.
Well, everyone can go crystal form and get the cool hat, but not every one of them will change type.
Okay. But this doesn't look. They didn't give this to a hat. They gave him balloons.
Well, that could be. It's just something on their head.
Oh, they all have their own hat.
Yeah, they all have
a different hat.
And the hat tells you what type it is.
Pokemon hats.
I don't know that's what you're gonna get.
Nope.
You're gonna get.
No, it did not give me what I wanted.
I think that what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, remember the move Hidden Power that Unknown has in and that's its only move. Okay, well, the way that Hidden Power works is every Pokemon, it's a neutral type, but every Pokemon has a different type that Hidden Power will be. And it's completely random. It feels like it could be that, and if that's the case, this is going to get annoying very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering I understand why they're doing this. It's designed to mix up competitive a little bit. Because I think the competitive metagame hasn't had a good grenade thrown in it in a while. To the point where they just started allowing mythical Pokemon in competitive play. Just to be like, fuck it, let's see what happens.
Okay.
I don't think that is necessarily a good thing just to do for the sake of it, but it is better than just doing it differently. Now, the gyms allegedly you can do in any order you want. It's unknown if that's going to be if you go to what would logically be the 8th gym and fight the gym leader, will he just come at you with level 50 Pokemon and just rock your shit? Or will it be they're scaled where it's you can go to any one of them, whichever one's the first one will have one team. And then depending on what order it is, you get a different team each time.
No.
You just want them to come in and just curb stomp you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like in Breath of the Wild, if you decide to go fight Ganon without getting anything, it's not scaled to whatever you got. It's just Ganon's oh, you're here to fight me? That's cute. And he goes, always kick the shit out of you regardless.
Yeah, so that way you can choose. I mean, because don't you have to, the lore of the game is that you have to complete them in an order, right?
What do you mean?
Don't you have to collect the gym badges in a specific kind of order for your
I don't
region
think
or
so.
something?
I don't think
That was
so.
what I thought the lore was.
Well, I don't think that's the case. I think that like it depends on like if you were in well, no, because even in what's it called in Red and Blue, you didn't have to fight them in the right order
Oh, okay.
because you could
Hmm.
fight Sabrina before you fight Koga.
So I like the idea that you could go around, get all your Pokemon all real tough out in the wild areas or whatever, and
Mhm.
then go and like beat the big tough bad guy at the biggest gym and then move your way down, and then it'll be super duper easy at the end, and maybe at the end they just go, oh my gosh, I bow my hat, and then people can decide which direction they want to go.
I don't think it'll be that. I think it'll be the way that it'll be scaled.
Okay. And that's kind of cool too, because then you can go in and play it a few more, and you can play it different ways because you can start different locations.
Right, and it will be interesting for speedrunning too, I think. Because like if you look at like I've been looking at a lot of speedrunning stuff lately. I had that idea I told you about with the speedrunning show. And I was looking into like Emerald. You played Emerald or Ruby and Sapphire at some point, right?
Nope.
Way back. You never played Ruby and Sapphire?
I've seen it.
Okay. What speedrunners will do is they'll pick Mudkip as their first one because Mudkip gives you a type advantage to 3 of the first 4 gyms.
Okay.
Because you get a type advantage over Rock with a water type. You get a type advantage over what was it in Electric in the third one, and you get a type advantage over Fire in the fourth one.
Okay.
The fifth is normal. The second is fighting. The thing is, in that game, you don't have to fight the second gym at any point in the game until you get to the Elite Four.
Okay.
Like until you get to the gate of the Elite Four, there's nothing that says you have to fight the second gym.
Oh.
There's no wall or anything. So you can do it second, you can do it third, you can do it fourth. The thing is, the team is not scaled. So the longer you wait in the game to do that, the better off you are. Because if you do it second, it's going to be tough. If you do it fifth, you can just throttle right through with 3 attacks.
Okay.
So it's an interesting kind of thing. It's this is the strategy that goes into it.
Are there going to be more regional Pokemon?
I would assume so. It's just a little like this year is weird because there was no E3.
Oh.
Because like if you think back, like E3 was when in X and Y they revealed like Sylveon.
Oh yeah.
They revealed the fairy type. They revealed Mega Evolution.
Mhm.
There's been nothing like that this year.
Didn't
So like this
realize
weekend
there wasn't an E3 this year.
Well, I think what happened was a lot of the studios did their own kind of little things for the summer because this time of year is important for releasing the rest of what you're doing for the rest of the year.
Okay.
Because it's like, what is coming this holiday season? What are we doing this Christmas? And this is not just a way to transition to us talking about the Christmas special that we're going to do this year.
But a good transition anyway.
It worked out. But like, that's the thing, because it's like, that's why San Diego Comic-Con has taken up the role it has, not just for comics, but for the film industry and everything at large. Like Prey that came out this weekend, the new Predator movie, which is fantastic, by the way. I watched it last night.
Is it good? Because
It is really good.
I was not super convinced that it would be good, but I really like Predator movies.
It is really good.
And the Alien movies, and
It is really good. I think you'll like it. It's worth a watch. It's only
Is it
it's
worth
only like
it in
an hour.
theaters? Or could
It's
I
not
wait?
in theaters.
Oh, okay, never mind. Perfect.
It's only on Hulu.
Oh. Do we have to rent it or is it free with Hulu subscription?
Free with your Hulu subscription. But like that had its premiere at San Diego Comic-Con. Like Clerks 3 screened the first 5 minutes at San Diego Comic-Con. That's coming out in September. We're at this point where we're at the midway point of the year. So if you want to debut your new stuff, debut it in San Diego. So that way you can start your 6-month marketing campaign from there. And it's kind of the same thing with video games, where that beginning of June date is a great opportunity to be like, and here's what we're doing for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Until at the end of the year, you can do something small for like, here's what we're doing in the beginning of the next year. but that's where they release all their stuff.
Here's all the stuff that you should be putting on your Christmas list.
Right, exactly. And it's like this year, the only real games that have any interest in is, I mean, really for me, it's just Midnight Suns from Marvel, which is like, do you ever play XCOM?
No, but I've watched people play XCOM.
It's like that, but with Marvel characters.
Oh, okay.
So it's, but like the mystical, like dark, like, you know, Moon Knight, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Moon Knight we forgot before. That was one of the shows in Phase 4. Anyway, but like that's coming. There's this Pokemon game coming. Nintendo really doesn't have anything big coming, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
So like Breath of the Wild 2 isn't until next year, because that got bumped back. And then I feel like there was one other one too. No, I don't think that's it. I think that's it.
The Christmas season coming up.
Yeah.
Or
You
the
think they
Christmas
start announcing
episode.
stuff though? Yeah. Well, before we get to
Way
that,
less smooth.
what video games? Before we get to the Christmas special, I have one question for you. What old video games would you like to see ported to current gen consoles?
Oh, lots of the 64 stuff.
Did you get the Switch Online expansion for that?
No.
Yeah, there's an add-on for Switch
I know.
Online. You don't want to pay for it?
I know that when I do it, it's gonna take up a lot of time.
Right.
And right now I have a lot of other stuff going on. So once I have some more time, then yes, I'll be doing that.
They just added Pokemon Snap to it.
Okay.
I almost got it just for that. But yeah, so N64 games.
I wouldn't mind seeing. I don't even know what's actually available, so you can tell me if I'm wrong. I wouldn't mind seeing all Super Smashes. I wouldn't mind seeing.
Melee is not available on anything right now. I'm surprised they haven't ported that because that's had a pretty big fan base.
Because I mean, like the new Super Smash is cool and everything, or the newest one is, but you know, I don't know. There's a special place in everybody's heart for those older ones, and then every single Mario Kart game ever. That would be great.
You might want to invest in Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
Because they have a ton of. I have my Switch right here, actually. And the game's not in it, so we're not going to do that. But they have Mario Kart 8 for the Switch is Mario Kart 8 that came out for the Wii U, plus the DLC pack that came out. And they also have a booster pack, which is another $25 on top of that. But it adds in 10 more cups.
Okay.
So by the end of this, I think every track that's ever existed on every Mario Kart game will be on that one.
Okay. Donkey Kong Jr. and stuff like that, the ones that were on the Game Boy would be cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
Yep.
Do you know how much my bandwidth as a kid on Game Boy was Pokemon?
I can't tell you how many hours went into like Donkey Kong Jr. Like,
yeah. Before I reset my Ruby.
But that back in the day, it's not fair because back in the day, we all had like 3 games.
Yeah,
tops. Like if our parents got us that many, like.
I clocked 300 hours in Pokemon Ruby before I reset it. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah. It was over like a decade. Like, let's not be like I did it in the first year. Like, no, it was like I got the game when it came out in 2003, and then it was maybe 2013 when I reset it. But it was 300 hours that I had clocked at that.
I don't think that there's anything else that I'm like, some of the old stuff. Oh, Spyro, Crash, all those. Are they all on there?
Yes, on the
Switch. The older ones, though.
Spyro 1, 2, and 3, Crash 1, 2, and 3 are both on the Switch.
That. Oh my goodness. Well, that's exciting. I'll have to go get those.
Yeah, Spyro held up very well when I bought that. I got that for the PlayStation, but it held up very well.
I remember it. I remember playing it on the PSP. That was fun.
See, and that's the thing too. The PSP had a very good back catalog of old games, and people don't talk about that much.
Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
That's not out?
I don't know.
There's a bunch of Star Wars games I've gotten. I know Republic Commando got ported to the Switch. Episode 1 Racer got ported to the Switch. Jedi Outcast 1 and 2 both got ported to the Switch.
The Bounty Hunter game, I was never particularly good at games, and I would get really, really far, and then I'd get stuck on something, and then if I couldn't move on, and then I had soccer practice, I'd have to shut it all down. And this was like before we had an understanding of like that you could have a thing that would save your game. So this was just that I would spend where I would sit down and I would play to get to however far that I did, and then once it was gone, my game was gone, and I started from the beginning again.
That reminded me. Do you remember how many fucking Game Boy games didn't have save files? They had codes you had to remember. Oh my God. To think this was our life at one point, where you had to sit there, you had to write down these ridiculous fucking codes to remember where you were in a game because you had to put the password in.
And maybe you got lucky and you had parents that were like understanding of like,
oh no, I didn't.
Like the internet and electronics and things like that. Maybe some kids got lucky with that. But I remember learning, oh my God, are you kidding me? I could have been saving my I could have even saved my 64, like my Mario 64.
Yeah.
And
no, I didn't get
I could
that.
have been saving my yep. I remember finding that and being like, idiots, of course there was.
See, like for me, like we had a PlayStation 1 when I was a kid because my dad used to love playing sports games. And that had the widest array of sports games. Those all had save files. And we had this and again, the
my
amount
dad
of
played
memory
on the
changed.
PC all the NFL games, all of them.
Oh, I have very recently broken the cycle of abuse that is buying Madden every year on release day. Just for the sake of buying it.
I think he stopped in 2018. He stopped buying because he was like, this is the 6th year in a row I've not played the game after buying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my problem. Like, and the thing is too, I say that, but earlier this year I bought on on Steam. I bought NHL Manager.
That's different.
Which is
that's a managing game. That's not.
Yeah. Did you ever play Out of the Park Baseball? It's kind of like that, where it's it's GM simulator basically. It's not like an actual like.
Yeah, it's a managing simulator. It's not a sports game.
But like for me, if I were to pick games that were to come, here, I think that Nintendo is sitting on a gold mine in not releasing Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, Super Paper Mario as a set on the Switch.
Oh yeah, people love those. I never played. People love those.
And the thing is too,
I've watched people play since and stuff, and like I like watching it and everything. But now sometimes after watching other people play, if you've watched enough, you're not interested in playing again.
It's like I don't know if you ever you never played it, but like so many GameCube games, their graphics hold up astoundingly well.
Yes.
Like it is unreal. And you know what I learned recently too? Do you know why the PlayStation 2 had the longevity it did?
No.
The PlayStation 2 had the same number of buttons as the Wii and the same hardware specs.
Oh.
So when developers were making Wii games, they're like, well, fuck it. We have the dev kit for the PlayStation 2 and we don't have to downscale the game. We can just port it over and just change all of that. So if you played a Wii game and a PlayStation 2 game of the same game, it was basically the same engine it was running on.
Oh.
So that's why the PlayStation 2 lasted as long as it did, because as long as Nintendo was supporting the Wii, the PlayStation 2 had games going to it.
Do you remember the Pokemon game on the GameCube? The one
Coliseum?
Yeah.
That one
I wouldn't mind playing again.
Awesome.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
Or the 007 that was on the GameCube. I remember it being so
Tomorrow Never Dies.
Shitty, but I would want to play it again.
I heard GoldenEye is getting ported.
Maybe it was GoldenEye then.
No, GoldenEye was for the N64. That was the one that Peter brought with him to college. Or we bought at J Street. Yeah, I don't remember if we bought it or if he still had his old copy, but we used to play that in multiplayer on the N64. You were there for that.
Maybe.
Yeah, you definitely were there for that because
I probably thought it was boring to watch and walked out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I would watch for Super Smash. I don't know.
But yeah, I'm surprised they don't, because like I wonder how I could look into it, but like, did you pick up last year when it was out, or late 2020 into 2021, the 3D All Stars Mario game?
No.
It is probably the best money I've spent in a while. I have it right here in my little.
3D? I can't see it.
This is my what's it called?
I can see the case. I can't see your game though.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of
All-Stars
games.
Is what it was.
Super Mario 3D All Stars. I think I have it in here. Yeah.
No, but I did get the other Super Mario one with the dinosaur.
That was Super Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy in a set. That was very much worth it. But like,
I didn't get the set of it though. I just got the one with the dinosaur in it.
Oh, 64.
Yep. No, 60. I didn't.
64 has a dinosaur in it.
64 doesn't have a dinosaur in it. And
Yeah,
no, I'm talking about the
does.
old one. The new one. I'm talking about the new Mario game. One of the new.
Oh, Odyssey.
Yeah, Odyssey. Thank you.
Oh, I never played Odyssey.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, there's an Odyssey in Super Mario 64. Dinosaur in Mario 64. You want to test me on this, or is that what we're doing? We're looking this up to see if I'm right.
That's not a dinosaur.
Yes, it most certainly. Okay, maybe it's the Loch Ness monster, but it's still dinosaur-esque. But I thought that's
You're
what you were
right.
talking
It's
about.
a plesiosaur.
Yeah.
Not that it says that, but that's what it looks like.
In Hazy Cave.
And that would be yeah.
I know my shit.
All right. Sorry.
But yeah, I think that they should. I really think Paper Mario is a good one they're sitting on. Jack and Dexter, I'm surprised hasn't gotten a port. The same with Ratchet and Clank from PlayStation. I'm not really familiar with Xbox's franchises besides Halo.
Okay. Yeah, I don't.
Because I never really played Xbox. But Jack and Dexter was a big one that everyone loved when we were kids. And I mean, look, Kingdom Hearts comes out for every fucking console that's ever existed.
I didn't have like a real console back then. The only one that I had was the GameCube. And then we had the Wii. We had an Xbox, but it was like one of those. Here's the one game that goes with it.
Yeah, here's the Xbox that we're going to use mostly for Netflix, and it'll sit in the living room. And if you want,
oh no,
when people aren't home,
we're not. But we're also not going to pay for you to have like Live or Gold.
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
that was my problem too. Yeah, it's like my dad
Here's
was like, "Oh yeah,
here's
we'll
the
get
one
Live,"
game.
and then it's my dad's fucking Gmail account, and I'm like, "Cool, I'm not gonna go play Live with my friends using my dad's Gmail."
Here's the one game, and here you go. And also like, you can't go live because
right, yeah,
no, we're not paying
online
for that shit.
Yeah, no online. You can play by yourself. It's like, all right, well, but
not that I'm ungrateful or anything. That sounds super shitty or whatever. It's just there's that time period where you learn how to use the new console when they were brand new, and if you were not tech savvy, it wasn't easy.
Yeah, and did you ever play Mercenaries 2?
No.
Look up a gameplay video of Mercenaries 2 after this. It is such a batshit game that I'm surprised they haven't ported it yet. It is you play as this like mercenary and you go around Venezuela and just fuck people up. It is very fun.
I've seen footage of
it's a fun game. I'm surprised they haven't ported that either. But I think it's because Pandemic is owned by EA now. Which is also why we're never going to get Battlefront 2 ports. Because that was made by Pandemic Studios back in the early 2000s. But yeah, I just needed that was entirely just an excuse for me to be like, why haven't they made a Paper Mario collection yet for the Switch?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because like that is such a great game, and like I think I don't think anyone
I like how sassy it is. I've been watching the Game Grumps play lately to go to bed, and it's such a sassy game.
Yeah, like the second one too. It is so well made. Like if you play it now, it still looks great. And I think it is because Nintendo is so cartoony. Cartoons always hold up. That might have something to do with it. where like if you watch like Looney Tunes still holds up.
You're not wrong. It's style and the nostalgia, and cartoon is cartoon no matter what, and through the times. So.
And they did steal our idea too. I think we said this at one point on the podcast, but they did do one thing we suggested at some point. I know me and you definitely talked about it at some point, but Nintendo.
What they do?
We said for a Mario Party game, what they should do is, and they half-assed our idea too. They didn't even full-ass our idea. What you do is you take the best mini games and the best maps from all the past Mario Party games and put it into one big game.
Yeah. They
Instead of trying,
did it bad.
They did it, but they didn't include the maps. It's just mini games.
Oh, fuckers. They missed a golden opportunity.
Yeah. The shame. Because like, have you played a good Mario Party game since like 8?
The age of 8?
No, since like Mario Party 8 for the Wii.
Probably not.
In the last 20 years, have you played a good Mario Party game?
I was like, I don't know, probably.
No, because like for me, I never played 7, but I really liked 5 and 6, and then I like enjoyed 8 enough.
I have not played since the Wii.
That would be 8.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one with the weird guy.
Lack of not wanting to or whatever. I mean, it's one of those.
Well, you were in high school.
I can play it in my free time and then not have free time.
It's like high school and then out of high school.
No, like recently I've been thinking that I wanted to get it, and because it would be fun for me and and other people, and so yeah, but I've not done it because time.
Yeah.
So it's nothing against the game or the series or whatever, but
like I never played what's it called? Like, and the thing is too, it's like for me, it's if I'm gonna spend $50 on a Mario Party game, like there are other games I'd rather spend the $50, $60 on.
Same.
Like
that's really
it's not,
what it comes down to.
It's not something that like for me, if I'm gonna pay 60, first of all, I very rarely buy games that release anymore. Like I usually wait for a markdown, and I don't know about you, but like I haven't had fun with a first party title in a while.
I had a little bit of fun with Cyberpunk.
Oh, I never played that. I heard bad things about it.
Yeah, that's what was fun though.
And that's not first party though.
Oh, I don't know then.
Like for me, it's like I get more enjoyment out of indie games than I do out of major releases, first, second party.
I don't really get my games for lately. I don't know.
Like if you play Stardew Valley, like I've played Stardew Valley for just hours on end. It's just enjoyable. Minecraft. Remember I told you about my Minecraft incident the other day?
No, tell me again.
Yeah, so I was playing Minecraft when I had COVID, and I started a new world, and I built a castle, and they have these new things now in the newest update, which is like remnants of a nether portal that are just kind of chilling places.
Yeah.
And I found that, and there was a box next to it that had another obsidian in it. So I was like, oh, it's cool. I can finish the portal and go into the nether and see what happens. I do that, go into the nether, and apparently the portal had spawned directly under a lava flow, which didn't load in until I was already out of the portal. And
that's why it was broken. It was not for use.
Right. Well, so then what happened was I finally got diamonds yesterday, and I deconstructed the portal. I'm like, fine, I was going to move it somewhere else, so that way I'm not there. So I go somewhere else, build another portal, go through it, and this one loaded under lava.
Oh.
Like in the there's the vast seas of it spawned under that.
I guess you can't go to the nether.
I deleted that file entirely. I'm like, fuck this.
That's funny.
I'm done.
That's funny.
But yeah, so the Christmas special, without transition anymore, because I fucked that up.
Yeah, you did fuck that up. We should have just gone with.
Yeah. But no, it was good to have another topic in. So the Christmas special idea that I had, and I want to get your opinion on this, was Paramount Plus has basically every Nickelodeon show that has ever existed from the inception of the network to now.
Mhm.
And if this idea was a lot better 3 days ago, before Jeanette McCurdy had her book came out. You remember iCarly?
Yeah.
Sam, the girl who played Sam, wrote a book
Mhm.
about the flagrant abuses that happened behind the scenes at Nickelodeon.
Oh.
Yeah. And about how there was a creator of one of the shows who would walk into the girls' dressing rooms while they were changing and take pictures of people getting dressed, and was an uncomfortable situation all around. And the book was so damning that Nickelodeon offered to pay her off to not release it, but she released it anyway. So that said, they have every Nickelodeon special from our childhoods and such. Now, were you more of a Nickelodeon, Disney, or a Cartoon Network person? Because it's a weird console wars kind of thing, like Marvel, DC, Nintendo, or Microsoft or PlayStation. Same kind of thing when you were a kid. Which one were you?
Was it Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and what was the other one?
Disney Channel.
I was definitely a Cartoon Network kid.
I was not, unless it was Looney Tunes, which Looney Tunes were reruns from cartoons in the 40s. But
Because that was the one that Kids Next Door were on,
yes.
And okay, yeah, and that's where Naruto aired and
yes.
other animes.
Toonami was on the
Mhm.
block, but from 4 o'clock to 6 after school. Now the issue is Cartoon Network, their programming was not quite as deep. They didn't have quite as deep a bench because of how much of their block was licensed out from Japanese companies. And then on top of that, HBO Max doesn't have the full back catalog
Mhm.
of a lot of the shows. Nickelodeon, on the other hand, they have everything on Paramount Plus because Paramount did the smart thing before they launched their streamer. They retained the streaming rights to all of their content.
Oh.
Since the beginning of Paramount as a company. So if you go on Paramount Plus, I don't know if you have it or not, but if you go on Paramount Plus, it has the most robust back catalog of movies because Paramount's been around since the 20s or the 30s.
I don't have it, but I think is it a free thing? No, it starts at $4.99.
Yeah, but I'll go send you my information. You can use mine because I get mine for free through T-Mobile anyway. So
cool.
Yeah, so they have everything on there. So I listed out all of the cool, that's how it came out. All of the specials. So I'm gonna read out some of the specials, see if you remember any of them. We're not gonna do it now in full, but I'm gonna just read out, see if you remember any of these. SpongeBob, Patchy the Pirate presents the SpongeBob Christmas special. Okay. Rugrats has 4 Christmas specials over its runtime. Well, really 1 Christmas special, and then a Passover special because Tommy was Jewish, and then, well, that's not Christmas, Passover. Either way.
You're right.
No, that's not.
You're right.
There was a Kwanzaa special. That's what it was. I meant to write the Kwanzaa special down, not the Passover special. There was a Kwanzaa special because they were across the street from Susie. There was a Hanukkah special, and there was another one that they did in season 9, but I've never seen that one. Rocko's Modern Life. Did you ever watch that?
Yes.
That one also holds up very well if you watch it now. It's really there's it's all things like him going into real life situations and dealing with it. Like the one where he goes to the airport is perfect because air travel has not changed at all since 1993, besides TSA's existence.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still just as ridiculous, so it all still works. So that's one of them. Rocket Power. Did you ever feel?
Oh, I did like Rocket Power.
All right, so there's one. Invader Zim.
I liked Invader Zim.
Hey Arnold.
Oh. I have a funny story about Hey Arnold.
All right, let's hear the funny Hey Arnold story.
Okay, 2nd grade. I thought that the way you told a boy you liked them was to spit in their hair. So that's what I did, is I spit juice in his hair.
Well, there you go.
And I got in a lot of trouble for it. Like they brought me to the principal and they said, "Why'd you do that?" And I was like, "I hate him. I hate him. That's what it is I hate him." Yep.
So you learned something.
Yep.
Don't spit in someone's hair.
Yeah, that's not how you tell people you like them.
Fairly Odd Parents had a Christmas special. Doug. Do you ever watch Doug?
I did watch Doug when I was really, really young.
Danny Phantom.
I like Danny Phantom.
Which the origin of Danny Phantom is it's very much the same as the origin of Star Wars in a weird way, because Star Wars was George Lucas wanted to make a Buck Rogers movie, and he went and they said no. He was like, fine, I'll make my own, and he made Star Wars. Danny Phantom, and once you know this, you'll pick it up. Is it's very much Butch Hartman wanted to do Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And he was told no, and then he made Danny Phantom, and it's the same kind of, everything's kind of the same, where it's like, you know, the anti-hero who's a friend, there's the, you know, the evil twin who's not really evil, and you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, keep pressing the wrong button. So Danny Phantom, Chalk Zone. Now I was surprised to learn that Chalk Zone's Christmas special came in the 3rd season, because I was surprised to learn that it went on for 3 seasons. I didn't think it went on that long. Cat Dog.
It was okay.
Jimmy Neutron.
I liked Jimmy Neutron.
Wild Thornberries.
I liked them.
And My Life as a Teenage Robot.
And I liked that one.
So those were the things. I really liked My Life as a Teenage Robot as a kid. I think I had a crush on Jenny when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too. I think every kid did.
Yeah. So I think that those are the lists. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We have 17 things, and they're all short. They're all a half hour each. And I'm not saying we got to do it right now, or we have to do it this week. But before Christmas in December, when we have this go up, what I want to do is me, you, and hopefully we can get Peter on. He's busy, but because he's a doctor now. So he's away this weekend. I asked him to come on. He was busy, but each of us will pick our top 5 from this selection. And then what will happen is we'll assign a point value to each. And what will happen is, like, the one you pick at number 1, that's worth 5 points. Number 2, 4, number 3. Okay, so like that. Keeping in mind too, this is a audio podcast, so throwing a thumbs up at me doesn't tell anyone besides me that.
Thumbs
up. 7 years. And then what we'll do at the end.
You're never gonna want me back. You're gonna be like, every time you come on, it's a shit show.
And then I actually have an opening clip for this episode that I found when I was looking for that clip from Infinity War. Mm-hmm. It's at one point you go, you know, this episode was great. Then we started talking about football and shit and other nonsense. And then just Peter deadpan goes, "Thank you for your color commentary." That's how we're going to open this episode. And then we'll do final rankings by adding up all the scores and seeing which one's number 1, which one's number 2 of those, you know, and we'll see. Because I'm assuming that it's a deep enough one where there's enough to choose from, but at the same time, it's not so deep that it's unlikely that no one will pick the same one.
If there's 5.
Like let's say you pick, like, okay, so like let's say that like I pick for my number 1. I don't know. I'm just gonna pick one. I picked the Hey Arnold. We're only
ranking the Nickelodeon shows, right?
Right. The ones on that. We can throw Cartoon Network in there too. I also have to do some research to find the episode numbers and the shows and add them to the list too. But we can do all of them.
I love it. You pick how many things are in the list?
Right now, there's only 17, but that doesn't include like Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls. If we go into Cartoon
Oh
Network,
my
there's more.
goodness.
But if we're
You're gonna
just
need
doing,
us to do more than 5.
what you mean to do top 10?
Yeah. So
All
that
right,
way
we
you're
could do-
guaranteed to have people pick the same ones in the different slots. So that way we're not all.
Well, like you don't think?
Because if we put
Oh yeah,
all pick,
that would have to. That there is a chance that could happen. Where if there's
yes,
3 of
put
us
that little.
with 17, there's a chance. So if we do top
Yeah.
10, yeah, or we do top 7, just to be weird.
Yeah, I love it.
But we have to do, if we add in more, we'll have to make. Well, if we do top 10, we definitely have to add in the Cartoon Network stuff then. Which is no problem.
7 is fine too, because I mean,
Which is
then
no
you just
problem.
have your ratios, okay?
Because all 3 of us have HBO Max, so it's not a huge deal.
Yep.
So either way, we'll pick it and we'll do points for it. So like, let's say I pick number 1, Hey Arnold, for whatever reason. Like I have a stroke and that's my selection.
Arnold's your number 1 TV show?
No. Like that Christmas special is the top of the list. Like that's my number 1 of the 7 that I pick.
Okay.
And then you pick it for number 3 for whatever reason. Like we both have strokes that week and they're in sync.
Mhm.
And we both picked that to be in the top 5. Keeping in mind too, I'm shitting on it, but I haven't seen it since I was a kid. So I'm just but it's Hey Arnold, so I'm just assuming it's not that great. Like if we both
I don't
pick
know, they
that,
had some feels in them.
there are a few pretty good episodes. But like if we both, like you pick it for number 3, I pick it for number 1, it's 8 points.
Right.
So then we add it up, and then whoever has the most points at the end, that's number 1, number 2, number 3.
I think
And we'll
as
go
long
from
as
there.
there's 3 of us, then the 7 would be okay. But if it's gonna be just the 2 of us, it would have to be like 10.
Right. Well, I think Peter will definitely be on by then. He's not on for any particular reason. He was just busy this weekend. And last weekend I was sick. Otherwise, I would have let's do this last weekend. But I think you were busy last weekend.
I'm always busy.
Right. But the thing is, we have enough lead time now to get this done between now and the end of the year, because it is beginning of August. So we have plenty of lead time to do this, get it done, and be done with it. But we'll work out the kinks and
Start
we'll do that.
forwarding you my work schedule.
Yes. And yeah, I'm just gonna make a calendar. Like, let's make a calendar for like, so that way you know when I'm at events, because that's my big thing over the last few weeks. Is like me and Peter were supposed to do a mid-year top 10 in the beginning of July, but we've both been so busy we weren't able to do it yet. Because like I was at Long Island International Film Expo and at Stony Brook Film Festival, and I got 2 Comic-Cons I'm going to this month. So we got Long Island Tropic Con and Long Island Retro Gaming Expo. So I've been busy. So like even my schedule's packing up now on the weekends.
Awesome. Though.
Yeah.
Those are fun things, not
well, no, but
picking up extra work shifts.
It's for work. It's not like I'm doing it for fun.
Yeah. Well,
like I'm going to cover for the Smithtown Chronicle.
Oh.
So I'm going as press.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, damn, work.
Yeah.
Right.
That is work. Yeah. And
that's a fun thing, though.
And then New York Comic Con in October. There's another one. But yeah, I think we'll wrap up there for today. We definitely should do it with people more often, because I'm not sure how much people love listening to me just talk while I'm driving, because that's what the podcast is most days. I don't know, because that was the other thing when I was going through and looking for that clip was at one point
when I'm driving. That's most of my it's like the other half of my day. That's my free time.
Like if it's Zoom, I gotta look into Zoom, see if I can record Zoom calls if we do audio only, and then just do it that way. We could do that. That would work. Because like that was the thing, is it's like I was listening to an old episode, and Peter said something. I'm like, you don't want to say that, and I know you said don't say that because it might offend a listener. And then I said, we don't have to worry about that. We have 4 listeners, and 3 of them are on this call right now. And you said, I don't listen.
I think we both were like, we don't listen to it.
No, Peter did. Peter used to, and he used to give me like notes, and I was like, why? Like you can just tell me, like you can just tell me while we're recording.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I think that we'll wrap up there for today. I think we've covered a wide range of topics of stuff that's happened in the recent past. And if you're listening to this, we'll be back with the next story whenever it happens. Beware of spoilers. Tomorrow we will have an episode about Prey, and on what's the other one? Sandman. I gotta sit through 10 episodes of Sandman between now and probably Monday.
I'm sorry.
That's on Netflix, and then that'll be the other story. Yeah, I'm regretting taking this job to Step Down Chronicle. I'm being completely honest. There's so much. When I was out with COVID, I watched so much streaming. I had such a headache at the end of it
Really?
because I sat and watched 8 hours straight of TV one day, and then 4 hours the next. And I was like, this is not a good idea without like blue light glasses.
Oh.
Yeah.
Recommendation is Zenny. They're super duper cheap.
I got a pair from GameStop when they were closing, and they had a clearance sale.
Are they actually nice looking glasses, or?
Here's the thing. Did you ever play Far Cry 5?
What? No. Far Cry 5.
I think it's Far Cry 5. Yeah, look at the box art for Far Cry 5. You see the guy in the middle of the box art for Far Cry 5?
I can't see his glasses. It's not big enough.
Yeah, it's those glasses, but they're blue light glasses.
Oh, so no then.
It's those exact glasses that they released for Far Cry 5, and they had them left over as like a pre-order bonus.
The answer is no. They don't.
No, they don't look.
They
good.
don't look okay.
If I wear them in the house, my sister will go like, "What the fuck are you wearing?"
Okay, I recommend Zenny. They do them, and they are not yellow like that. These are blue light blocking.
Oh, okay. I don't know why, but I thought you wore glasses.
I'm wearing glasses.
No, your regular glasses also do blue light blocking?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. They're a little yellow tinted, like when I'm looking around and stuff, but not very much.
Oh. Zenny, I'll look into those. I was actually go to Walmart and get a pair of like $10.
If you want to get ones that you won't be able to wear around other people.
I mean, in my house it's fine. It's not like
I just meant for like I figure you were saying like for work or whatever.
Well, I don't go anywhere. I work remote with that. Like,
oh.
Yeah, like when I'm working at my day job, like doing packaging and stuff, I don't need to wear blue light glasses for that.
Oh, okay.
I need a neck brace for that because I'm sitting there like this for 8 hours, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is nice.
Yeah. Ow, that would hurt.
Yeah. So that's been my hell for the last week, like since I got back from COVID. So we'll be back with all of that later this week, and as other news happens.
Still the outro? I thought you
it's still
did the outro.
No, I'm still doing the outro. Because I got off on a tangent, which happens more often than you would think too. And what was the other thing? If you have not already, Sizzle Reel is now out on Kindles. Go to, I have a link right here. bit.ly/MWP books. The link is now active on that page for Sizzle Reel and a pre-order Echo Delta Part 1. And with that, we'll be back with more stuff probably later this weekend. So until then, have a great rest of your week.
Thanks.